Hello everyone, it's Crypto Granny here. I hope you're all well, looking after yourself, looking after your family and friends, your beautiful children and animals, and looking after other people and animals in the world just to make this a better place. Now let's look at live coin watch today and see what we can glean from this crypto market. I'm still a mega bull. Any pullback in this market, you've just got to buy it. Absolutely buy it with your ears pinned back. And there's a couple of really good news stories out there, so please look at my news stories, which will be after the technicals that I cover. A couple of good news stories: XRP. What else we got? We've got Litecoin, Cardano, and obviously Bitcoin and Link. So have a look at those in the next section of my video after I've done the technicals. But at the moment, we've got market cap at 3.68 trillion. Volume's large, actually, at 116 bill. Liquidity is 9.265 bill. Also, most upvoted is Verticon, XRP, and Stellar. I don't know how Live Coin Watch gets those figures, but clearly people must vote them up. And that's obviously, the big armies behind XRP and Stellar. But Bitcoin at the moment is 114,547. Not doing a lot. Its dominance is 61.82%. I expect, as I said before, that dominance to go down to about 35% by the end of the year. Ethereum is at 3653, up 1.5%. XRP is at 304. Been a couple of whales buying XRP. 20 million was bought yesterday, which left the exchanges. Binance at 761 is holding in quite nicely. Solana, there was a good news story re Solana today. Have a listen to that. Solana is up 2% today at 1.67. Tron's doing really well at 0.33. ADA 0.743. Another good news story re ADA. Have a look at that in the news section. BCH is at 571. Link, great news stories. So look at that in terms of my crypto news at 1669. We're also keeping an eye on HBAR, Hashadera at 24 cents. We're keeping an eye on AVAX as well at 22.39. And Litecoin's done really well at 123.53. The last look at that, it was 109. We bought some Litecoin for our investment portfolio number 7. There was a great story from CoinGate saying that Litecoin is one of the second largest payment preferable payment coins that people are using. It also, Litecoin does a lot of people that do gaming use Litecoin. Okay, so that's a really good story for those guys as well. And Pepe is just currently at 401, and I'm expecting this thing to bounce quite substantially as well. So let's have a look at the technicals and then the crypto news stories and see how we believe this market's going to go. But I do believe that this market is going to be bull, given what Mr. Trump's doing. There's a couple of stories about Mr. Trump as well in terms of his Trump media. They're buying lots of crypto and they're bringing out an executive order to make it, they're trying to bring out an executive order, the banks, to stop the banks from stopping crypto transactions. And I believe that's the right thing to do, because how many times you use your Visa card or your credit card with a bank and you can't buy crypto and they've stopped you from doing it? And I think that's really annoying. I've got to tell you that. And it's clearly because the banks are way behind the curve. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or wherever you are in the world, and then let's look at the technicals, and then I've got some news stories. Thank you. With Bitcoin for the 3 months, again, we're in buy mode here. And if we look at the 3-month ratio, 280 up to 264 down. This is a buy. My system's still saying a buy. It's way above the VWAP, and it looks very bullish to me. If we go to the dailies, it's pretty much buying 3,000 the way up, slightly down, more on the downside, 3.64 on the way down. But I think any support on Bitcoin, if it gets down to 113,000, it's going to be very well supported. We see Metaplanet buying, and we see MicroStrategy buying, BlackRock and many others as well. If we look at the 4-hour, we've got 761 up and 810 down. It's pretty much even Stevens. Let's have a look at Litecoin. That has done really well recently. And we do own Litecoin. I think it's a great story, Litecoin. If we go to the 3 months on this one, 12.87 million on the way up and 11.48 million on the way down. And the interesting thing about 3 months, it's actually gone through its VWAP, okay? This looks very bullish. We are getting buyers on Litecoin. And don't forget, the longer the consolidation, the more likely it's going to go up, okay? This thing could go up as long as that consolidation there. At its height, Litecoin was, over $400 or somewhere, right? I do like coin very much, and I think it's an absolute buy here. And yeah, we've been given a bull candle here, a big one, okay? As you look here, even on the daily, it's gone through its VWAP very quickly, and it looks very bullish. We've got a lot of buys on Litecoin, a lot of interest in Litecoin. It's still really cheap, people, really, really cheap. On the dailies, we've got 630 up and 535 down, and so that's consistent with that. Also on the 4 hours, we've got 83 up and 139 down. But I mainly look at the 4 hours and the daily for the bigger picture as well as the 3 months, okay? But yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's go to XRP. Just do a quick appraisal. XRP is in buy mode here at the moment. 452 billion on the way up and 4.06 billion on the way down. Doing a lot of volume here. Wow, that's a massive. If we look at the daily, 36 up, 40 down, trying to consolidate, fair enough. It's got to hold about 302. If it gets back to 299, something like that, you may get it around 288, 285. I'd be looking to buy there, or maybe even lower at 255. I don't believe it's going to get there. I think it's going to hold pretty nicely, XRP. It seems to be very well supported at the moment, technically. If we look at the 4 hours, we've got 6.97 up and down 8.3. Let's look at Chainlink. That's always of interest to me. Let's have a look at 3 months in Chainlink. 3 months, we've been given a buy wick here. It's over the VWAP as well, which is really, really important and quite bullish. On the way up, 32 million, and on the way down, 28 million for a 3-month view. If we go to the daily, again, we're getting buys here on Chainlink, buys, and it's above the VWAP, which is really, really bullish. On the dailies, we've got 251 up and 264 down. If we look at the 4 hours, 61 up and 72 down. But, I look at the longer term charts as well. It's above the VWAP, and that looks very bullish to me indeed. I've got to tell you that. Another one I want to look at quickly is Solana. We don't look at all the technicals, it's impossible, but I only look at the ones where the main stories are and what we hold in our portfolio. So we go to Solana, let's have a look at that one. USDT. Oh, actually, let's go T on that. That's better. All righty, let's have a 3 month in this one. Wow, looks good. Bounce right off that VWAP on the 3 month. See with this red week here. And now she's starting to move up. We are in buy zone here on Solana. We've been given a buy. Up is 61, down is 60. We go the daily on this one. Again, need to get through these moving averages, but we've been given buy signals here. We've got this rounding effect as well. Well, it looks pretty good. I mean, it could get back to, $200. I think in a rally, this thing will get back to $200. Looks pretty good, I reckon. 720 up and 673 down on the dailies. Okay. Yeah, I like the look of that. Looks very good technically. Let's look at the 4 hours. 172 on the way up, down 216. But yeah, I think it's going to be fairly well supported. Let's look at Tron too. I want to look at that. Always of interest to me because we hold Tron as well. Yeah, Tron is the most bullish chart I've seen, actually. 12.76 mil on the way up, 11.8 on the way down. That's for the 4 hours. For the daily, 126 up, 100 down. Very bullish chart on Tron. I've got to tell you that. Above the VWAP, all the moving averages are moving up. It looks ultra bull to me. Let's go to the 3 month to see what the volume is. 9 billion on the way up, 8.9 billion on the way down. That's got to be the most bullish chart I've seen. I think Tron could really break out here, people, big time. And it could easily get to $1 or something like that. They're buying back their own crypto, okay? $1 billion worth of crypto they bought back, and I think Justin Sun will continue to do that. The charts look pretty good, I've got to tell you that. I'm ultra bullish, people. I think this market goes much higher, and I think any drop in it is going to be well supported. I've been waiting for certain things to drop, like XRP, for example, and a few others, but it looks very bull for me, and I'm very, very bullish. So that's enough of the technicals. We'll have a look at those later, but other ones, but yeah, it looks pretty bullish to me. Very, very bullish indeed. Anyway, please continue watching the video. I've got news stories there. Hope you like them, my new format. And I'll talk to you guys soon, but on the technicals. But yeah, watch the news stories, and we read some of the important news stories out there today. Thank you. Let's go through some of the main news stories today. Federal President Mary Daly came out and basically said that she feels that the Fed needs to cut interest rates by at least 3% this year, particularly when there was very weak economic growth data, okay? Non-farm payrolls came out at 73,000. They were expecting about 140,000. And the unemployment rate actually increased. I believe, like Trump, these figures aren't right. We're actually seeing a lot more weakness in economic data and also economic employment. So basically jobs, job availability, creating high unemployment globally. And it's not just a US problem, it's certainly a problem for the rest of the world as well. So there is an expectation to reduce interest rates from 4.5 to 4.25, and I think that will be crucial to actually increase economic growth, which then increases jobs in the labour market, okay? And I think that's really, really important. Going on to the next thing that I want to cover is the fear and greed index is currently at 60. Also have unlocks in quite a bit of crypto coin this month, something like 300 mil as well. Now, Mr. Tron, his media conglomerate, bought quite a bit of Bitcoin. They're actually funded by private investors, okay? And Trump Media was out there buying something like 2.7 billion of Bitcoin, which I think is quite relevant because he's actually putting his money where his mouth is, okay? So they raised 2.4 billion from a private funders, and that's pretty much boosted where the Bitcoin price is now currently. And again, he's also bringing out crypto legislation to debank, so to speak, the banks, so that they start encouraging people to buy cryptocurrency. So you've got a president that wants to buy cryptocurrency. He's essentially buying a lot of different cryptocurrency for Trump Media, not only Bitcoin, but Tron, XRP, Solana, and Link. So this guy really wants an increase in cryptocurrency. Notwithstanding, even though his company lost money in the last quarter, 0.9 mil, Mr. Trump is still buying cryptocurrency, and he's created a presidency where he actually has become the cryptocurrency king, okay? And he's following the same path as Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy and the Japanese company Meta Planet, okay? So certainly Mr. Trump is making significant headways in cryptocurrency, and I think it's an amazing story what's happening. So MetaPlanet, the Japanese company, they're making waves in the Bitcoin market. They've basically bought 463 Bitcoin. They're adding to their holdings of 17,595. They've achieved an incredible growth of 459% in the year, and they're doing like a lot of other companies are doing, like Galaxy, like MicroStrategy, and many other companies. And what they're doing is issuing preferential shares. They intend to do another 3.7 billion to fund their Bitcoin acquisition and other crypto acquisition. And this is pretty much exactly what Michael Saylor is doing as well, issuing debt into the market and issuing equities into the market to buy Bitcoin. Now, in that sort of environment, you've got to question, how can Bitcoin go down when you've got these very, very large companies buying Bitcoin? Don't forget, you've got BlackRock out there as well with the ETFs, okay? So MetaPlanet, again, is going to continue to come to the market. They're doing a preferential share issue. And we see it with a lot of companies. More and more companies are starting to operate with their corporate treasuries buying Bitcoin. I think that is amazing. Now, there's a really good story out there today about XRP in terms of they're rapidly expanding in the tokenization market. The Ripple CTO came out and spoke about real-time liquidity and cross-border funding and cross-border payments and that sort of thing with the XRP ledger. So they intend to make it more scalable in terms of settlements. David Shorts came out, the Chief Technology Officer, and addressed their strategic function, what they want to do going forward, and answered some questions. And he said that Ripple was very well positioned in the evolving needs of cross-border financial infrastructure, emphasizing tokenization. And tokenization is basically having a big bit of something and actually making it into smaller bits, okay? So he said that this utility will expand people's holdings of XRP. We already know there's a lot of corporate treasuries out there wanting to hold XRP as well. So also they intend to have XRP function as a bridge currency, and basically create an ODL, on-demand liquidity as well, for real-time liquidity across diverse tokenized instruments and companies. He also mentioned that they're upgrading their compliance safeguards and their payment safeguards. And he said that XRPL cannot do DEX payments, but, again, it's something they may look at, even though they see it as a security risk with, people like terrorists funding themselves and this sort of thing. He described XRP as a purpose-built interoperability global asset flow infrastructure, and they intend to, increase the technology of Ripple by essentially creating more powerful nodes. And I think that's a terrific story for XRP Ledger, that's for sure. His goal is to establish a high performance hub that improves connectivity for validators and nodes, okay? So, they're committed to the ecosystem, and that's a very good story when you get the Chief Technology Officer saying something in terms of the technology validity, what they're doing in terms of validators, nodes, and how they're increasing the security of the network. So he said this new ledger, where there's been technology update, will be tested for stability and performance, okay? And they're looking at top level technical performance and mission critical nodes. Now, Ripple do own 3 nodes, and last count they had over 1,000 nodes out there, which adds to the security of the system. It stops a system from being hacked, okay? He said testing is absolutely necessary, but it won't disrupt the current system of XRPL, okay? There are independent validators and nodes, but it's only about 3% of the overall nodes that XRP has. So we have seen XRP bounce in the last couple of days to 307, and it's onward and upward for XRP by the looks of it in terms of the network and essentially what they're doing. So we have seen also a lot of whale accumulation transactions where XRP 100 mil the other day, 1.8 billion about a week ago, and 20 million was withdrawn from the exchanges just recently. So it's come back, pretty well. It is facing resistance at 310. Big support line is 272 on XRP. So many people were honing in to buy it at 255. I certainly was, but it never came to fruition because the market for XRP bounced very, very quick. Bill Morgan, an analyst, said that XRP is being added. One's Hyperscale, another one is Allo Capital Group, which plans to hold another 10 mil, plus Flora Growth Corporation is holding XRP as well. So we are finding more corporate treasuries are very interested in holding XRP, just like Bitcoin, Tron, Solano, Link, and a few others, okay? So very exciting for what's happening with XRP, I have to say, and I think this is going to help obviously with the growth in their crypto. Now, Chainlink brings out data streams and data streams for US equities, bonds, as well as cryptocurrency, okay? And they're incredible with their smart contracts, what they can do. Chainlink is very cheap at the moment, people, and I think it's a very underpriced cryptocurrency. In the last rally, it got to $52, $55, something like that, okay? So many Mission banks just recently integrated Chainlink. Westpac have done it in Australia, ANZ, NAB, They're looking at Oracle security mainly, but Chainlink is really the dominant player when we talk about pricing oracles, okay? And there's no one really in that space except Pi Network, and they're launching a system where it can help with the tokenization of stock as well as bonds and everything else. And people use these news feeds that come from Chainlink. Okay, so they're in partnership with Kimino and GMX, and it's just an amazing story, Chainlink. I tell you, it's very, very underpriced for what it is, that coin, and we are definitely buyers of Chainlink under $16. Certainly their data stream delivers required speed, security and efficiency. They're very cheap and they're very, very fast. So look, I think Chainlink is an amazing story. It's one of our main investment holdings in our investment portfolio, number 7. And they also they use smart contracts as well, okay? So there's no middleman in that. So if you can pick up Chainlink under $16, I think you're doing incredibly well. But I think Chainlink really is very underpriced at the moment. So the Chainlink's data stream will significantly enhance people's security, whoever uses them, and all the major banks in Australia are using Chainlink. So it is a pretty great story for those guys. Really, and I think they're doing transformative potential of Ethereum virtual machine type technology and blockchain type technology, which boosts efficiency right across the board. So and they are compatible with Ethereum, okay, with their Ethereum virtual machine. They develop and transfer applications and smart contracts easily, so it bridges between different networks and creates interoperability between different networks, okay, and it is scalable and it's very, very cheap. So and it connects on-chain and off-chain, as the video suggests, with decentralized applications, decentralized infrastructure, and pricing oracles and crypto securities. So there's no one else in this space in terms of Chainlink. No one, and I think it has an incredible future, Chainlink, and even at $16, it is very, very, very cheap. I mean, these enhancements promise to enhance decentralization, to enhance interoperability, to enhance multi-cross industry function, as well as security, pricing oracle security, low fees, and decentralization. And that's what you want from a cryptocurrency, okay? That's the existing network, but they're going on to a much better network, and they're upgrading that network. Now, so Cardano came out with a governance vote, and apparently 70% of the holders of Cardano voted for an approval of an economic and a technology mandate, okay, to increase the efficiency of Cardano, to speed it up, to basically create efficiency within the network and within the ecosystem of Cardano. The community plays a crucial role, okay, in terms of the transparency of voting and everything else. And, again, they're going to put more money into the network for Cardano, okay? And I think that's a pretty good story for Cardano. It's a very positive story. Mind you, I think Cardano at the moment is overpriced for what it is, okay? So the community basically reached a decision, and it means that they're committed to doing a roadmap which is going to increase and upgrade the infrastructure of Cardano, okay, for real-time processing of transactions with low costs and low latency, and make it a very speedy network. And that's what you want in crypto, okay? A network that's speedy, that's low cost, that has great security, right? Has lots of nodes so you can't hack. If you have a minimum nodes, it's much easier to hack a network than if you have thousands of nodes or hundreds of thousands like Bitcoin. So they want to basically enhance the technology of the system and basically leverage off the new network. Now Solana's come out with their groundbreaking phone, and by all accounts there's about 174,000 people that are looking to get onto Solana's mobile phone, and it's being sold to 50 different countries in the world. So It's called a smartphone. I think I'd be very interested in looking at this one. I haven't used it yet and I haven't looked at it yet, but I think this is going to be an innovative approach which makes cryptocurrency more accessible to everyone. Okay, they are forming strategic partnerships and broadening the decentralized application for crypto users all over the world, and I think that's a great story for Solana. And so that people can actually access and do safer transactions using the Solana network via the smart mobile phone. And they're shipping this to 50 different countries in the world. So, again, that's another great story for Solano. And a lot of people are holding Solano. There's some very bullish forecasts out there for Solana in terms of the crypto price. Many people are expecting Solana to overtake Ethereum eventually one day as one of the best cryptos out there. So, also we've got Litecoin, another story from Litecoin. There's a recent CoinGate submission that basically revealed that Litecoin was the second largest payment system used vis-a-vis Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin still reigns as 22% payments, but Litecoin has risen to 14% as an effective, fast, and cost-effective payment system. And I like Litecoin very much. I think it's very, very cheap, and I think it's a buy here. So according to CoinGate, Litecoin actually increased their payments up to 14% of the global landscape compared to Bitcoin at 23%. And we're seeing it also with gaming. A lot of Litecoin is being used for gaming. So, that's a good news story for Litecoin. They're pretty much all the news stories for today, people. This is a new format. I hope you like it. It's not easy to do this, but I hope you like it. Please do look after yourself. That's enough of me today. Look after yourself. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.